is John Miszuk. They call me Coach, or as my wife made a business card out, says the shot doctor. So I've been called Doc a lot of times around the gyms. But you know, I've been in the head hunting business for 30 years. And I originally am from Connecticut. My wife moved me down here because she's from Atlanta. I'm sorry I didn't get here a long time ago, 10, 15 years ago, to get more involved in the basketball program. But one of the things that I do is that I've been in coaching. I played many years ago before the three. I was known as a scorer, a gunner, a shooter, whatever it was. So I scored a lot of points going back many years ago. But one thing I've learned is that every time I watch a scorer, a shooter, whether it's Jerry West, Oscar Robinson, Pete Maravich, and to the current players, Wayne Wade, there's not one of them that I don't dissect and look for what they do well, what they do wrong. And I see a lot of bad shooting in the NBA, in college, and high school. So what I'm trying to do is maybe pass on my knowledge to people that can pass it on to somebody else that can help somebody become a better shooter. But yeah, that's what I've done all my life, and I do this for the love of the game. But can't learn the proper techniques. And God gave you the ability to go out there and do it the right way, not the way you see it on TV, but the natural way that your body needs to do things. And one of the most important things that the young kids, whether it's in high school, junior high, grammar school, college, and pro, most of them do not have the proper technique because they've never been taught properly at a young age. So one of the things that I teach kids off the court is how to develop the fingertips. Now the fingertips are so important because this is where all your feeling in your shot comes from. So when I tell them to lift off the wall just holding their fingertips, this is the way the fingertips will come off the ball and they're stiff. The next thing that I do is the next step of this is I teach them how to snap the wrist and using their fingertips. Pushing off, because this is the same thing they'll be using on their follow-through of the shot. The fingertips, where the touch comes from. The wrist, the snap of the wrist, by strengthening the wrist, this is where the range comes from. So this is so important, and usually what I try to tell them to do it is 3 times sets of 10s. Never the day of a game, because a lot of times they'll leave the fingertips and the wrist a little sore. So I try to tell them to do this, leaning against the wall, a step outside, and just pushing it off with their fingertips, and I want that wrist to snap off the wall as quickly as possible, not using their body but their fingertips and the wrist. This is where the shots come from. This is where it is. It makes the shot taller. Instead of the young kids pushing, or some of the pros like they do, this gives them the ability to raise their shot and give them more range. So now the three-pointer becomes a lot easier, because now instead of going out there and pushing it, they're out there snapping the wrist, follow through. The follow through is so important. Whether you do it off the wall, you want to hold that follow through, because it corrects a lot of the mistakes. A lot of the mistakes come from below the shot. So by the time they get it up here, they could have a foul, somebody hitting their hand. But once they get up there and shoot it, and the follow through is there, it corrects all the mistakes that happen below the follow through. So the follow through, and I'm telling all the players, just like with Daniel, to hold the follow through while they're practicing until the ball hits the ground. This way it teaches them that hold the form, correct the mistakes, and also the fingertips have to be stiff. Most of the kids, when they get these jelly fingers, they lose control of the ball, they wind up pushing it. So when you follow through, the fingertips have to be stiff. So they're not jelly, they're not closed up. When they go jelly, which is a problem with Daniel, they close up. And then when they close up, you wind up pushing it. And when you wind up pushing it, there's no control. It's just a lucky shot. Things that's so important, the players don't prepare themselves to go out there and get the shot. They're not set and they rush shots. One of the problems with Daniel, he's standing before he even gets a shot. So it's so important, whether it's off the dribble or the catch, that you're in position to catch the ball, and then when you catch it and you're ready to shoot, the ball is above your head and you're still down in a shooting position. A lot of people catch the ball and they're standing, and then they go down, and by the time you go down and up, it's too late. The defense has the advantage. So my job as a shooting coach is to make them quicker. So as they catch the ball with 2 hands, not 1 hand, it's always with 2 hands, and you get the ball above the head as quick as possible. Because the longer it takes, the slower you become, the more advantage the defenses have. So what you want to do is you catch it off the dribble, you want to get it above your head, ready to shoot. And then you incorporate your legs. Want everybody be in a position as they catch the ball, bring it above their head, and use their legs to shoot. So it's a one motion. He's got 2 extra motions we're trying to get rid of. So what we want to do is make him quicker. So as he catches the ball above his head, 1 motion. And the same drill we did off the wall is the same drill you're doing here. What I do all the whole time that I'm concentrating on a clinic and a shooting practice, I do not let them think about making a shot. My whole ambition in life is to get the kids to concentrate on form, technique, form, not worry about anything else, because if you do everything right, it's going to go in. And as quickly as you can, get your feet set and stay low. Because one of the problems that most kids have, just like with Daniel, and then he's going down, and then going up. It's too late. You want to catch that ball, and it's 1 motion. As soon as you catch that ball, so he's eliminating 2, possibly 3 extra motions that make him smaller and shorter and slower. I want him to play, play 6'5". So by quickness, he's got a lot of natural gifted quickness. That quickness is going to be a lot quicker, but he's slowing himself up because of the techniques he has and the form that he has. So my job is to catch the ball, get it above your head, off the dribble, or off the pass. And that's one of the things that we're doing here. Catch the ball, stay low, and now you shoot. So that's slow motion technique. But people don't believe me when I tell them that it makes them faster. Because it eliminates 2 or 3 extra moves, that makes them faster. It makes them offensively a quicker threat, quicker off the shot. So in the mind, it looks like it's slow, but in reality, you watch Dwayne Wade, you watch Kobe, that's what they do. They get that ball above their head, they're still down here, they got a fake, they can explode from there for a layup. If not, they just jump and shoot. It creates so many opportunities, but once you stand up, he's dead. Defense has the edge. So I'm trying to make them quicker, better shooters, and understand the game and keep it as simple as possible. This is nature's way. Your body's designed to do things a certain way, and when you sometimes you look great. So now what we're going to do is try to incorporate everything we're doing here. Let's see, into game speed now. So we're going to spend about the next 15-20 minutes doing everything game speed. So we want to transition what we're doing here, get it into the court. Because he's a good shooter, he's exceptionally quick. So we want to take advantage of that quickness, but we'll put us in if we can get the things that he does naturally. When I told him, whoever coached him, is a great move, he goes up for his layups with 2 hands. And then he extends himself. One of the things that kids like to do when they're younger is they want to go up there and spin the ball underhanded, spin the ball off the backboard, and the chances of going in are becoming slim and none. So what you want to do, you want to go up strong, make yourself as tall as possible, and so that's the technique I was teaching him, and one of the ways to do that. Good. Right up in here, about just above your head. Okay, so just above your head, right there. Take a step back. Okay, I want you to do the same thing now. Keep your head up. Step back. Okay, good. Good. Push with the fingertips. Good. Don't use your body. Fingertips. Do it as fast as you can. Good. No, not fast. I mean quickness. Snap the wrist as fast as you can. Off the wall. I want to hear the fingertips off the wall. Good. All right, hold it. Okay. Now I want you to bend your elbow a little bit. Okay. Do the same thing. All in one motion. Good. 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 Now hold it when you do it this time. That's the shot. What he's doing is he's practicing his shot, he's strengthening his wrists, he's strengthening his fingertips, because his fingertips have a tendency to push off the ball with his palms, and they close up. So what we want to do is make sure that the fingertips, as they push off the wall, remain the same as they are on the wall.